up, family? I don't know if you ever noticed when you're watching us on these lives, when the music is playing, that's always my original music. People who are like, what is the silence noise and what is all that stuff? The good news for me is there's always all this original music that I have that I play on these. So when we're setting up the stream and we're getting all the chats open and we're getting everything going, like that's always original music. So if you want to check that song out, it's called Cold November. It is by the Silence Noise on the Silence Noise Spotify. If you like rock music and things like that, you know, hey, that's what we're talking about. But no, we're not here to talk about music today. We are here to talk about offers. And I didn't change the title. Your confidence is not messing up your offer today.
Right now. No?
Well, here, so let me do. All right, so Anna, take it away while I fix this mistake.
Well, here and now presenting you, we always have fun because that's part of our
Yes.
values. So today we are going to be talking again about offers.
Yes.
Offers, how you deliver those offers, where you deliver these offers, why you should be delivering those offers. And we're going to try to keep it as short as possible because it's Friday.
It's Friday. You got to get down on Friday. Is that what it is? I think so. Yeah. It is true.
It's supposed to be.
There we go.
So,
now we're there. Now, see, this is how we fix things in real time. People, I forgot about it. Now we know. Is this hurting your offer? Is having the wrong title on your screen hurting your offer? Yes.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes, yes. But what we mean by that, so here's a common scenario, and I'll actually, I know this is something you deal with all the time. You and I both have marketing and service agencies. We both work in events. We both work with speakers. And so many times, somebody will send me their sales material. They will send me their landing pages. They will send me their website. They will send me their flyers. They'll send me their stuff, whatever it is they have, their business card, whatever it is that they have. And I will immediately look at it and I will think, wow, this is hurting you more than it's helping you. If you were to hand this to somebody, if you were to hand this to me, or you were to send this page to somebody, they're going to take 2 seconds to look at it and go, this is awful. Or they're not going to understand what to do. And I hate it. I hate that. I would imagine that I'm even more diplomatic than you. Obviously, we both work with clients, so we understand it's like, you can't just be like, oh my God, your page is trash and this doesn't work. But at the same time, there's an honesty of like, wow, this is sabotaging you, the quality of your sales material. So how often do you see that? Like, what are some common things you see when it comes to bad offer material?
Hey, first of all, I'm going to clarify something. I was born in the 80s and I was raised in the 90s. So when I say this with love. It looks from the 1990s. We're in 2023. Let's innovate a little. Let's leave that. It looks like it was when the dinosaurs ruled the earth kind of design. If you're gonna do it well, and you get what you pay for. So don't expect a $5 logo be the same as a $1,000 logo.
That is correct.
It's not the same a $5 website from a $5,000 website.
That's right. And the thing is as I said, of course, we're all, especially when you're in startup phase and you don't have money coming in and you're not sure where the sales are coming from. I get wanting to save money, but the last thing that, like, it's always hilarious. There's this Henry Ford quote where they say, you know, the first thing that always gets cut when in a recession is marketing, which is the thing that people need.
That it should be cut.
It's the last thing that should be cut. And it's always the first corner that people that have a new product or a new offer or a new thing cut corners on. They'll make it themselves, or they'll work on it on their own. And the problem with that is you get one shot with most people. And that doesn't mean that there's never a second chance or you never get to go back to anybody or something like that. But what it does mean is you get one shot to make somebody take your offer seriously or to take the conversation with you seriously. And I've had many instances when I've been working with somebody or I'm having a great conversation with somebody at an event events, and will then put their flyer in front of me or put their business card in front of me, and immediately I'm turned off. I'm like, I can tell that this person either didn't think this through, or they designed it for what they wanted, or they weren't thinking about a customer. They were just thinking like, wow, I got to have something put together. Like that's like, I got to throw this together and put it in front of you, and that'll be what works.
Yes, as a branding expert myself, not an expert, but I consider myself pretty good.
You're an expert.
Yeah, I consider myself pretty good. Sometimes, hey, my brand has changed a lot, and I started doing it all by myself. So here's the thing. Sometimes you can do things by yourself, but you have to have a good eye for design, and not everybody has a good eye for design.
I have a horrible eye for design.
That's why they're templates, and that's why they're templates. That's why we designers have created templates for you guys.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's not only how you see it, it's the experience people go through while they click on things.
Right. Right.
So it's not just the design
100%.
and how it looks, but how does it feel? Like when you're clicking things, does it connect to the next page? Does it go to where you needed it to go? Does the payment processor actually process the payment? Does the lead actually fall in the email list? Like all this techno stuff, like tech stuff. Yeah, okay, you could use ClickFunnels. Or Kajabi, or I hate Kajabi. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of options. Yes.
But any of these softwares, they're great to some level, but I say I hate it because Ken and I were techie. We're super techie, so we try to do other things and like cut corners and do some other stuff. And every time we go to tools like this, we're limited. Like
That's correct.
I can't do some things, but to start with, you can. No, we're not saying you shouldn't. But it's always good to have some help, because sometimes we're too much in our business,
right,
instead of on the business. Like we're working inside the business.
I need to have like a cliche alert on when we do these shows. I'm just going to use the kazoo. In the business, not on the business. Yes or yes. Oh my God.
It's cliche land, because cliches are real. And like Sheldon says, it's funny because it's true.
Yes, it is. And it's funny. It's funny because this is one of the things you brought up about walking through the process yourself, or having somebody else walk through the process for you. I literally am working with somebody who's hosting a summit where they're investing close to $25,000 right now. And as far as they knew, the process was working perfectly. And literally on a meeting last week, we walked through the process and found that it was not, that the buttons on the upsell pages were not working correctly at all. And so they were looking at the statistics.
That would never happen when we produce it completely.
No, it doesn't.
FYI,
it doesn't.
Everybody.
And also that was an issue. So it's like looking at the process and having someone else to do it for you. In fact, that is, as I mentioned, bringing up talents with that kind of thing. One of the things about offer materials is, I bring this up, and I have no hesitation to say this, is that I don't have the visual design eye. I always say that I'm not a visual person. I'm not a person that thinks in images. I'm a person that thinks in words, and everything for me is words. It's why I'm a speaker. It's why I talk. It's like words for me. And with visual design, I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And that's about as far as it goes. So for me, if I'm developing something serious, or I want something serious, I either need to start with a template, or I need to work with the person to make sure that I'm looking professional, because that's not my thing. And now that said, the quality of information I'm going to give is always going to be great. And when someone's in a room with me, it's again why we do this workshop. It's why it's free for you to come to this workshop, because once you see what we do in a room, it makes 100% more sense to you and what we're talking about, why we're talking about this. But I also know what I said at the beginning of this. You get one shot. You get one shot for somebody to look at a page. You get one shot for somebody to look at a flyer. You get one shot for somebody to look at an information card. You get one shot for somebody to look at your book a lot of the times. Books, sometimes people will be more forgiving with them than they are with other forms of media. But really, the honest truth is you still even get one shot with that. And I've even seen people who've done entire book launches with book covers and book materials that look horrible. And so it's like, again, don't try to do those things that you're not good at. And then what else hurts you And this is probably the most important thing we talk about in the offer workshop and that you experience in the offer workshop is that there is not enough of your customer's experience in your sales materials. You're not using their words. And I know this is something you will hear me repeat over and over, especially those of you coming to the workshop, using their words, understanding their feelings, understanding their thoughts, understanding where they are right now, making statements of an experience or an outcome that nobody wants. Like this is a big one. Oh man, I forgot that. I'm going to remember that social post one of these days before we do this call, because I have the social post of, as I said, most people will use their jargon words. Even when we were coming up with titles today, I love to say behind the scenes, I was using jargon words because I'm talking about sales materials, and nobody only those of us in the industry use that word. So that's why we cut this to, is this hurting your offer? Because it's saying that, okay, maybe you don't know what sales materials are, and that's fine. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, you have to make sure that those elements are there and that the headline that you're using is calling out to someone specific, that it's something that somebody would want, like it's an outcome statement that people want. In fact, one of the reasons this workshop got switched to how to create offers that sell themselves is that it's an outcome. It's something that a lot of people don't even want to sell. Like for me, I'm like that as well. I would rather my offer sell itself. I would rather that the offer is so good and tempting and on the point that people are going to want to buy it regardless of what I say about it. They just look at it and go, yes, I see the value in it. In fact, yesterday, Tammy Rader, who is a great client of ours and who was in the workshop the last time we did it, we were doing a demonstration of a piece of software called Keep. And I was literally just demonstrating to her what we do in it and the work. And I didn't have to sell anything. Immediately after it, she's like, oh, I want to do this because I see the value in it from what you're doing right here. I want my offer materials to do that. I want my offer itself to do that, to go, this is something that somebody definitely wants. They definitely want to be able to make more money. They definitely want their offer to do the work for them. They definitely want the sales materials to be so irresistible that nobody is going no. Like the whole time they're just going, yes, I see the value in this. Even people, this is something that is funny to me and that's happened in the workshop a few times. Even people that didn't continue to work with me after the workshop, or didn't take advantage right away or didn't work with me, ended up coming back. And this was the fun thing. Like they left and then 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, they'd schedule a meeting with me because I offer that after the workshop. They'd schedule a meeting with me and then work with me because they'd realize like that offer that you presented was so valuable and I understood exactly what it is and exactly what it's going to do for me that I realized like I made a mistake. I do want to work with you, or I do want to do this aspect of it with you. And your offers need to do the same. And the materials need to make it obvious how much you're giving to them or the specifics of what you're giving to them. And again, that doesn't mean over deliver, doesn't mean over promise, all the stuff we talked about yesterday. You don't have to have a list of specific steps or specific features. In fact, that's one thing that sabotages sales materials a lot is people that are talking too much about the what, about what you're going to do. And you've got the like proven process. Actually, in brand briefs, if I had a brand brief for Now Presenting You, this is the first words I'm going to put in it. I always even yell at people in the workshop when they do this is proven process. Those words, you're not allowed to use them. You're not allowed to use proven process because nobody cares about the process. They care about the outcome. They care about what happens at the end. What do I feel like at the end? What matters at that? And so
processes, we all know processes and journeys are going to be up and down. We know how life is. We don't want to hear about the struggle. Yeah, we know we're going to have to move out of our comfort zones. Yes, we know we're going to have to be uncomfortable and like I said that word already, but not we don't want to hear about that process because we just want to know that you know the process, that the process is clear, but we don't need the nitty-gritty at the beginning of things.
Of course not.
Some personalities actually do, but they will reach out to you if they need it.
Right.
They are some personalities that will need all the details before they make a informed decision.
Right.
And then the rest of us that will skim the pages.
And that's exactly right. It's the best example of this I heard is I worked with a fitness trainer years ago, and they basically said, if I told you all the things that I was going to do to you in fitness training, you would never do it.
Yeah.
If I told you you're no longer allowed to eat as much of your favorite foods as you want, I'm going to make you wake up at 5 in the morning and run till you puke. I'm going to make you lift weights so that your body is sore for days on end. Like, that's the process. That's the real process. And for the most part, if you tell somebody that, they don't want that. And it's the same thing with, especially those of you, this is one that I see a lot of people who are in personal growth or spiritual fields or those kinds of things do, is because when the work is esoteric, they start to worry like, oh, I need to show I have a process and I need to show how I'm different. And there's so many people doing this. And it's a huge mistake, again, because if you're like, oh, I'm going to take you through, like, I see some pages, I'm going to take you through your deepest pains and trauma. Yeah, we're going to go through your trauma today. It's like, and most people, when they're first starting with you, they're like, okay, maybe it's important. And of course it's important to do trauma healing or work on my challenges or get into those things. And of course, but nobody wants to do that at the start. What they want is the feeling afterwards. They want to feel the relief of healing those things. They want to understand that someone's going to support them when they're going through dark times. They want to understand they're going to have a community to do those things. Those are the feelings that you can express for this kind of thing, rather than saying, yes, I'm going to put you in a room and make you sit in a chair and make you cry for 3 hours.
Yeah,
like,
you know
nobody
what
wants
just
that.
came up? Yeah, you know what just came up with this for me when you're talking about this, because I've seen both sides. I've seen really good copy on this.
Yes.
And it's and I've seen really bad. But what you were saying is that what we need to create for our audience, especially in that industry, the relationship industry, in the woo-woo industry, that's feelings,
Woo
mindset,
industry.
self-development, all of it, the woo. We had to create a safe space for this group of people, or this, individuals, if you do individuals, as a space, a safe space for them to be able to grow, to go through the struggle. So if you can show them on the materials the outcome, and also that you're gonna be there for them.
Yes.
And that you're gonna be there for them at whatever stage, like what Ken was saying, right? It's important to heal the trauma. It's important to talk about all this childhood stuff. It's important to deal with all the money blocks and all the spiritual blocks that we have as entrepreneurs, because they come up. All this, your personal life is gonna affect your business, like it or not.
Of course
Like
it is.
it or not, and vice versa. Like, if we don't set your materials to success, you're not going to be able to serve all these people that need you.
Exactly
And
right.
you're leaving not only people behind, but money on the table.
Yep.
And especially the people, right? Like, you're leaving people behind. They're humans behind every single username. Well, not every single one, but
Most
they're
of
not gods.
depends on if they're trolling or not. We had a good troll on our Facebook ad today, which was super fun. Like, here's the thing. Like, I am a troll, and when I'm anonymous, I am a troll, and I've been a troll. Like, anybody that knows me is like that. So for me, I laugh at good trolls, and this one was actually kind of funny, because somebody responded, and one of our copy in the Facebook ad says something like, "You can't miss this event," and so their response was, not only can I miss this event, in all caps, I will miss this event. And I actually saw it, and I laughed. I'm like, that's hilarious. And so I just responded with something kind of trolly too, and I just responded with your loss. And so it's like, but I love stuff like that, and it's fine. Again, I understand. I don't lose sleep over it, because it's like, this is not work for everybody, and this is not something that everybody needs to do. But at the same time, it doesn't actively hurt us that some people don't want to work on it. Like, it doesn't actively hurt us when someone watches the video and goes, hey, well, that's fine. And that's okay.
And that's actually good, because we don't want to attract everybody.
No.
We're not here to save the whole world.
Nope.
We're not here to be a gold coin.
No.
There's a saying in Spanish, monedita de oro. No, nadie es monedita de oro. We're not a gold coin. Not everybody's gonna like us. Only gold is liked by everybody.
Right.
So, like, just present yourself to them, like, authentically when you're going on social media, delivering your offer, and that should be cohesive in all of your materials. and what you're doing should be cohesive on everything that you like, everything that you do. And if you contradict yourself like me sometimes, that's okay.
Yes, it's
But
fine.
not not when you're trying to promise something and then you're gonna deliver it.
Yep. And it's true for me. Like I even say over the years, you can probably find presentations of me or being on stage where things I say now are not what I would have said then. But the business environment changes. Things change. What the expectation is changes. Who you're selling to changes. I change. I realized like, wow, we were just talking about something before this that I found really entertaining about how like Anna bought from somebody that had this really impressive resume of Google Docs. And like, that's how they were presenting stuff. And I'm like, I would never buy from somebody that sent me Google Docs. I guess unless it was a really impressive Google Doc. But like,
Grammys, dude.
Yeah, and it's fine. Do you. And as I said, that's the fine thing, as long as it's not hurting you, as long as it's not sabotaging you. And one last thing that I want to throw in, we're going to dig really deep into this concept in the workshop, but it's the concept of threading that I like to say. Of obviously we're bringing together concepts and we're putting together a journey and we're doing all these things to get people to take action. But when you've got them nailed down to an experience and they understand, like, by the end of this, I will feel a certain way, or I will act a certain way, or I'll have a set of skills that give me confidence that I didn't have before. Whenever there's resistance or whenever there's a problem, you go back to your thread. You go back to say, well, do you want that experience or not? Do you want to have that feeling or not? You don't have to make it something big because they know where you're going. And they know that when they work with you, at the same time, that's the destination. And so if you've got that really firmly locked in, and for us, that's really what it's all about. It's about confidence. It's about making sales. It's about growth and understanding like, wow, when I do this and I really understand this process, not only will I be more confident in what I have right now, I'll be confident in every offer that I have going forward. It helps me build a business and grow a business because you can't have a business without offers. So at the same time, it's like, okay, I've got to always go back to that thread, and I've got to always go back to that, okay, this is the experience that I'm creating, and in the end of the day, it's about feelings, not about process, not about features, not about benefits. Buying is an emotional decision. And so in this case, remember that. Bring it back, and your headline should always reflect that. Your sales material should always reflect that of this is the destination. This is where we go. And then from there, we can work backwards into all of the actual work that we have to do. But again, for those of you that don't have that or you need to work on your sales materials, you definitely better be registered for the workshop because we're going to go way in depth with that. We're going to walk you, as I said, through a process. We have a whole bunch of things that we do, and you get feedback on it. This is not just a lecture workshop. It's actually interactive. You're going to be working with your teammates. We actually have some amazing attendees coming to this, people that are very respected experts and speakers themselves that are coming to this to refine their offers and think about it this way and understand the model. And so, again, if you're not registered, it is free. It's next Wednesday. So come spend the day with us. Get your offers right. We'll help you make some more sales. We'll help you get your process in order. And there's a lot to do, and we're excited to do it with you. So, Anna, thanks for being here. Again, we'll be back next week. Actually, for those of you that follow us on TikTok, we're going to go live there for a little bit after this because we still can't do TikTok at the same time yet. Hopefully soon, when we do more lives there, we'll be able to do more stuff here. So if you want to join us over there, tiktok.com/@nowpresentingyou. They always have that @ in there. So at Now Presenting You, we'll be live there in a little bit. And we will see you guys next week and hopefully at the offer workshop, nowpresentingyou.com/workshop. See ya. Bye.